Hello and welcome. This is Rooflemonger, my friends. Today we're here to talk a little Street Fighter. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any new Street Fighter 6 news for you. And if you were looking forward to that at the Capcom Cup, well, maybe dial down your expectations, as Papa Capcom has told us there will not be any Street Fighter 6 reveals at the Capcom Cup finals. That said, however, I would still suggest you tune in, as it's just some great Street Fighter being played. Throughout the entirety of the Capcom Cup, character variety is through the roof, and the level of play is just fantastic. It's a really good send-off to Street Fighter V as a game as a whole. So hey, check it out. And before we get to the main event of the video here, if you're just jonesing for anything Street Fighter 6 related, we do have news on the Street Fighter 6 official prequel comic. In that, it's coming out in May, and we have some of the variant issue covers here for you. 4-part miniseries, 48 pages per comic. That's pretty healthy for a comic, so this May, look forward to that if you're just jonesing for anything Street Fighter 6 related. Today, the main crux of the video here, what we are looking at, is something that sort of slipped under the radar just a bit. In that, there is a proper Street Fighter VR experience coming. This is aptly titled Street Fighter VR. And it's straight up a virtual reality VR experience in the world of Street Fighter. Now, as you can see here, using some of the Street Fighter V assets, this is Street Fighter V Ryu and his stage, although the models are touched up a bit. Much the same you will find Zangief here, and the Russia stage from Street Fighter V. And we're given some small hints of the gameplay. As you can see here, the characters are very much in your face. You can move your hands around and battle with them, throw fireballs, try to block their attacks incoming, all the stuff you would expect and that you would want in a VR experience. Not necessarily the more core traditional one-on-one Street Fighter style game, sure, but if you just want to throw fireballs and punch Ryu in the face, this is exactly what the game is. And that's really all it needs to be. And already tossing some hints in this trailer here, here's Bison, oh, and by the way, Akuma as well. So as for details here, the thing to note out of the gate is this is a location test experience. Basically, this is an arcade style VR experience first and foremost. This is, given the fact it's a location test, I'm assuming having to be a bit earlier in development, not quite the full product to be sure. So as far as like what VR headsets could this wind up on, like the Oculus or the Playstation VR2, no details on that just yet. Although it would make perfect sense, especially the PlayStation VR2, which by all accounts, going by the early reviews, is actually apparently really good. Like, I wanted to try it out myself because of the Horizon game, because I'm a sucker for the Horizon franchise, but apparently it's just really strong on its own merit, so hey, that's fantastic. And honestly, I think this is a fantastic thing to get out there, because when you launch Street Fighter 6 later this year, you want things to help build the brand, and a strong VR experience is definitely one of the things that can help do exactly that. Although there's the one thing I'm a little scared of, actually a lot scared of, honestly, is specifically fighting Zangief. Now, in a VR setting, fighting Zangief would be scary in and of itself, sure, because he's, giant dude full of muscles. Except when he starts busting out the classics on you, this shot right here, that's what I'm worried about. In a VR setting with a proper headset, full range of motion to look around, all that kind of stuff, Zangief hitting you with the pile driver, I think I would just fall over and throw up on the spot, honestly. Like, just this shot alone is disorienting when you're looking at it on your regular YouTube screen, just sitting in your chair or doing whatever you're doing. I remember in the 90s at a small county fair, there was a VR setup where, everything looked like Lawnmower Man, if you remember that old chestnut. And it was like a very low polygon roller coaster, and I fell over and I threw up, right? So being put into the real life spin cycle against Zangief, I can only imagine will be disorienting at best. And you know what? Fair enough. I think they have anticipated exactly that, as they have a whole list of caveats before you're even allowed to step onto the ride, as it were, when you have this VR experience. But spinning pile driver induced vertigo and nausea aside, I think this is cool as hell. Like, yes, it may be a simple experience in the end, and you know what? Who knows? Maybe it will be actually pretty complex. But just the value on its face of here you are against the World Warriors in a VR one-on-one head-on fight, that is just super cool. So location tests arcades in Japan for now, yes, but I do hope it hits more consumer grade headsets in the future, Oculus Quest, PlayStation VR2, because this is something I want. I don't want too many VR experiences, but this one, I will gladly take it. If you want to know more details about it, I'll link the website for it in the video description. And otherwise, well, that's about it for the video today, my friends. So let me know what you think about Street Fighter VR. If you would like to give it a shot yourself, put it in the comments below. And otherwise, well, we're at the end of the video. So thank you very much for watching. Hope this video has found you well. And go out and play some Street Fighter.